Everyone, it's me, your Omayel, and for today's video, I am flying from Philippines to South Korea this June for BTS Festa and hopefully makasecure tayo ng concert leg nila doon sa Busan. So in this video, I'm showing exactly how I'm planning this trip. So from flights, hotels, budgets, and how I structured my Seoul and Busan itinerary as an army. If you're planning to travel to Korea for BTS events too, this will help you avoid a lot of mistakes. So, let's go. So, hi everyone, I'm back. Again, this is your Omayel, your companion and 30s army in the Philippines. So, I'm documenting my journey as a 30s Filipino mom in army, preparing for BTS Festa in South Korea. I'll be visiting both Seoul and Busan, and I'm sharing with you planning process and how do I plan for this trip before the actual trip happens. This also includes how I decided the travel dates, where I'm staying, and how I'm organizing the itinerary and our first ever companion tour. So, let's dive deep into it. So, okay, nakabook ko ng flight through Cebu Pacific during their piso sale last year. So, for this one, my trip is gonna be June 5 hanggang June 18. So, it will be a total of almost 15 days, if I'm not mistaken. So, almost 15 days. So, I decided to arrive in Seoul muna, then direct to Busan. So, may mga trips naman na direct to Busan like Korean Air, Philippine Airlines. But in my case, I decided to land in Seoul muna. Because it's easier to adjust kasi and mag-KTX na lang papunta ng Busan, though mas mapapamahal ng konti. But I think it's worth it because I can still visit some BTS locations before going to Busan. Then from Seoul, by June 8, I will be traveling in Busan via KTX where most of the Festa events are happening. So, sasabihin niyo sa akin, ano ba yung mga tip na pwede kong i-offer sa inyo? So, one tip I learned is that booking flights about 3 to 4 months in advance helps avoid the big price increase during Festa season. Same goes for the hotel, guys. So ako, the moment na nag-announce ng world tour at nakita ko agad yung Busan leg and the date, nag-book agad ako that same day. Marami namang mga accommodations na tumatanggap ng non-payment muna or payment a week before arrival. So, yun yung mga tina-target ko. Yung no prepayment required, yung mga COD, o yung mga nag-a-ask ng payment a week before the trip so that you can still cancel if sakaling hindi ka makasecure or hindi ka tutuloy. Same goes for the flights. As long as may piso sale or may sale, kahit malayo pa yan, gora tayo mga be. So, it's very important that you plan in advance kasi mas malaki yung matitipid nyo doon. What I do usually is, fina-follow ko yung mga airlines na gusto kong sakyan, like Korean Air, Cebu Pacific, Jeju Air. Sila yung mga gusto kong sakyan before. So, fina-follow ko sila so that I can be notified when there are sale or when there are discounts happening. Very important yun kasi nagsisend sila ng email through your registered email na ginamit mo for sign up. Also, nakikita mo din kung saan yung mga social media nila, nakikita mo kung may mga sale or may mga alerts sila in notification. So, I think that's very important. Follow the airlines that you want to ride with and check out and make sure that your notifications are on for all their social media channels. Now, for accommodation, in Seoul, I prioritize staying near public transportation, like near bus stops, near subway. So, it's easy to visit multiple locations. Ako, basically, I really love to stay in Myeongdong area. Very accessible kasi siya. Nasa center siya, right in the heart of Myeongdong. Hindi naman siya ganun kamaingay kasi usually naman nagko-close din naman ang Myeongdong area around 9 to 10 p.m. So, hindi naman ako eksaktong nasa Myeongdong market. So, anywhere around the area is good. Nagsistay ako usually doon. But last year, or last June ng Festa, nagstay ako near Goyang Stadium kasi doon ginanap yung Festa malapit and yung concert ni J-Hope na inattendan ko. So, the second tip that I can offer you is if wala naman kayong aatenan ng mga concert or location in Seoul na pupuntahan, better yet, stay in Myeongdong area or in the city center. Pero kung may mga aatinan kayo na concert or event, make sure to book an accommodation near the area para hindi kayo mahirapan sa transport system nyo, which is yung papunta and pauwi nyo from the event. So, yun ang tip number 2. So, nung first time ko, we stayed around Myeongdong. And nung bumalik naman ako for J-Hope's concert is nagstay ako near Goyang, which is an Airbnb. Now, I'm gonna talk about the itinerary planning. So, what I do usually is instead of planning too many places in one day, I'm grouping locations by area. So, lahat kunyari ng pupuntahan ko near Hongdae, sabay-sabay ko yung pupuntahan in one day. But I limit myself to 3 or 4 locations lang on that certain area para hindi ako masyadong ma-overwhelm and hindi ako masyadong mapagod. Kasi ang hirap ng mapagod ka pa nagta-travel, di ba? So, for example, one day in Seoul, I might focus on BTS-related locations and then another day is more on general travel. So, could be one day lahat ng nasa Myeongdong area malapit. And then the next day, I could be in Suwon. The third day, I can be in Hongdae. And then sabay-sabay ko silang pinupuntahan based on their locations. So, yun yung big tip. Ang hirap kasi na pagtatalon ka from Myeongdong and pupunta ka na Suwon or pupunta ka ng Gangnam, tumatalon-talon ka na magkakaibang location. So, plan your itinerary based on your location. Example lang to guys, for your trip planning. For me, example lang, day 1 ko is around Myeongdong area. So, if Myeongdong area lang ako, ang mga probably na iikutin ko to spend my day is around Myeongdong in the afternoon. But in the morning, I could probably just tour around the cafe, Gyeongbok Palace, Hanok Village, yung mga magkakatabi lang, Onion Cafe, Namsan Tower, yung mga around the area lang. And then, ikot-ikot lang sa Myeongdong. Yun yung sample ko na sinasabi na isang area lang per location. And then, for my day 2, I could probably go to Everland lang. Why? Hindi na ako magdadagdag ng iba kasi nakakapagod si Everland. Para siyang Disneyland ng Korea. So, mapapagod ka na doon. One day is enough already. Kahit na malapit siya sa Suwon. Kasi around Suwon area din si Everland. So, kung gusto mong mag-Suwon, pwede mo siyang gawing third day and bumalik ka na lang around that area. Sobrang dali lang namang mag-commute guys to Suwon. And gagawan ko din ng vlog, yung last travel ko to Suwon para ma-recommend ko sa inyo yung mga best places na pinuntahan ko doon at kung paano ako nag-commute. So again, you get the gist. Yung mga magkakasama sa isang area, yun yung gawin yung per day. Huwag kayong magtalon-talon. It really helps a lot. But of course, the biggest question that most people is asking about is the budget. Magkano nga ba ang allotted budget for a first-time solo traveler in Seoul? So, including flights, hotel, food, accommodation, kasi it adds up quickly. Overwhelmed ka and mapapagastos ka talaga. So, in the next video, I'm actually breaking down my own full budget from this trip from Philippines to Seoul nung first time kong pumunta ng Seoul para alam nyo magkano din inabot ng mga gastos. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to attend BTS Festa in June or visit Korea soon. I'll also be documenting the full trip once I get there and once makasecure tayo ng ticket. Wish me luck. So, thanks for watching!